That was the old way. Now there's e-business, the electronic exchange of data. Many different e-business systems have been developed around Europe. Unfortunately, these are normally set up with little or no reference to similar systems developed by others in the same country or elsewhere. Besides, the constant evolution of technologies leads to adopt different standards. Systems using different standards are one major obstacle to a wider level of e-business adoption. To better integrate the supply chains, there's a need to improve the quality and quantity of data exchanges in the current e-business and to introduce harmonized solutions, in other words, interoperability. eBIZ has been set up to address these needs. eBIZ is a European cooperation project to harmonize e-business processes, data exchange architectures and standards. It aims at stimulating the European textile, clothing and footwear industries towards e-business. These manufacturing sectors are SME-dominated, characterized by complex supply chains, where over 170,000 enterprises provide jobs to some 3.2 million people, generating a turnover of some 250 billion euros. This requires fast time-to-market reaction. Standards and agreed reference architectures allow suppliers, manufacturers and retailers to rapidly connect their businesses within the value chain. Coordinated by Eurotex, CEC, ENEA, eBIZ brings together over 150 companies and has achieved two major results. It has developed a technical reference architecture for e-business of the downstream and upstream supply chains. It has tested them and improved them in 17 pilot projects. The eBIZ reference architecture is a guide which describes a coherent framework of existing specifications to enable e-business, the electronic exchange of data documents for business-to-business, B2B, applied to companies of the TCF sectors. The architecture proposes technological and methodological specifications for data models, communication protocols, product identification and classification. It's developed based on industry-driven open specifications to fit the industry's needs in both the upstream and downstream sides of the supply chains. The architecture doesn't aim at developing new technologies or software, it aims at creating a favorable environment for interoperability of different systems. Based on the pilot tests, the architecture has been updated in 5 releases and it's publicly available on the internet. In the last year, the reference architecture has been tested in 13 pilots across Europe involving more than 150 companies. Pilots are groups of companies who run normal business operations across countries and/or across sectors, and which connect their e-business in line with the reference architecture specifications. Within the pilots, the company's usual ICT providers have adapted the company's systems to the reference architecture. As a result, the company's systems can automatically exchange normal business data and their usual ERP systems are updated. Interoperability has been achieved in and between the eBIZ pilots and for others who are eBIZ compatible.
Before we worked with the old way communication. So mutually or sending emails or faxes or that kind of things. So there was no one standard how to communicate with our partners. It took time and it was more difficult. Before eBIZ, we are communicating with our suppliers in a very traditional way. We are placing orders to our suppliers. They are putting these orders in their systems, and after that they are printing all the documents, sending us the papers. And then based on these documents we are putting all our orders again in our systems. So everything is done twice.
Edifact on vanha standardi ja sen käyttöönotto on yleensä projektinomainen, jolloin sen kustannukset pyrkii nousemaan pienen yrityksen ulottumattomiin.
Acho que é processo mais rápido e onde eu posso ter todos os dados que antigamente se calhar tinha de andar a pedir preços e essas coisas, e quando há uma alteração, automaticamente quando eles me fazem a confirmação vão dar essa indicação e fica automaticamente no sistema.
O cliente pôr ficheiro de artigo cliente e selecionar tudo o que ele levou e é só imprimir, que nos facilita muito mais, estar a inserir um a um. Basicamente é isso. Do outro lado, a recepção é feita pelo cliente, onde já tem a nossa referência, como há cá de pedir, as quantidades e os preços.
e secondo me può dare anche un contributo importante nello sviluppare nuovi clienti, soprattutto geograficamente magari distanti, e quindi consentire uno scambio di informazioni che permette di gestire magari il cliente remoto in un angolo del Giappone meglio di quanto si possa riuscire a fare adesso.
Regarding our growth strategies, the more retailers we serve, the more essential it will be that we have integrated eBIZ, because the processes, effort and time will increase drastically without an electronic solution. Furthermore, in the future, we expect to strengthen the relationship with our customers by enhancing our service based on the information we now receive and manage. As regards extending eBIZ to other business partners, we expect to integrate all of our current and future retailers, our own and third-party ones, in our eBIZ solution. We'll also be talking about integrating some suppliers in the future.
Il commento generale è che mi sembra un ottimo prodotto, funzionale per quanto riguarda l'utilizzo dal nostro punto di vista, e spero davvero che possa arrivare ad una accettazione standard da parte dell'industria. Quindi da questo punto di vista noi nel nostro piccolo vedremo di dare un contributo e poi speriamo di farcela, insomma.
To conclude, the eBIZ project addresses 3 questions. Why should a TCF company cooperate more closely within its network? To improve its efficiency in operation, to speed up communication, and to develop new services. Why should TCF companies exchange information directly by means of e-business? E-business helps to improve efficiency and speed, as well as reducing errors, while feeding the company ERP systems on management, monitoring, and e-support in decision-making. Why should a TCF company use such open networks and public standards as eBIZ reference architecture? To minimize risks and minimize costs. One interface with today and future partners. Manage a Passepartout language in the global business world. eBIZ, a single e-language for the supply chains of the European textile, clothing and footwear industries.